Here in the Weather Garden, I'm joining with Corellis Ortiz. We're getting pretty cozy because the rain is starting to come down. It was a beautiful start to the day, but not so much now.
Nah, it was beautiful and it was very misleading.
Yes.
I did tell you guys the cloud cover was going to be gradually increasing earlier in the morning show. And then here's the rain. It's a little bit of a light drizzle out here in the Weather Garden. That's where we're trying to stay together all nice and cozy under this umbrella here. It's light in nature and we'll see the rain actually not last very long into the overnight hours. Here's what we're seeing right now. 50 degrees. It's a little bit on the cooler end of things, but looking at your hour by hour forecast, we have a couple more hours with this rain in the picture up until we go into the later overnight hours. The rain should be coming to an end for the most part for us here in the metro and across parts of central Arkansas. And we'll be seeing rain chances still stick around into the last half of our weekend with some chilly temperatures also sticking around. But we do have another shot of some rain next week along with the potential for some wintry weather as well. So I'll have more details on that in the forecast coming up.
News just into the THV11 newsroom. The Conway Police Department is investigating a homicide in the 1800 block of Lucille Street. We know that 2 victims have been shot. One was transported to a local hospital and the other was pronounced dead at the scene. Our team is on the scene right now as we are still working to learn more about what happened. And we'll provide more updates for you tonight at 10 and on THV11.com. And to a developing story out of Memphis. 5 police officers fired for their involvement in the death of 29-year-old Tyree Nichols. It all stems from a traffic stop that happened 2 weeks ago. The department says their investigation found the officers used excessive force during that arrest and did nothing to help Nichols when he complained of shortness of breath. In a statement, Memphis police said the 5 officers violated multiple department policies. The FBI and Department of Justice are also investigating. For the week, the family at the center of this has been gathering with protesters, calling for justice for Tyree. Nichols' family says they want him to be remembered as more than just the victim of this incident, but also as a loving young man, father, and son.
Tyree was a man. Tyree was a black man. Tyree was a beautiful black man.
Our family will never be the same because of the cruel act over a traffic stop.
We will settle for nothing less than a murder charge.
National Civil Rights Attorney Ben Crump has taken on the case, releasing this statement in part that Memphis police, quote, must also be held accountable for robbing this man of his life and his son of a father. A Civic Saturday celebration. That was today in the Capitol. It wrapped up a week of Martin Luther King Jr. events in the city. Civic Saturday honors the day of racial healing in Arkansas, the Tuesday after MLK Day. The gathering is designed to rebuild trust in civic institutions and communities by bringing friends and strangers together for a shared purpose. Organizers say today's event is a call to action to create community focused in Martin Luther King Jr.'s beliefs here in Central Arkansas.
Just reading the I Have a Dream speech is not enough. We have to actually put into action the words and the philosophies that Dr. Martin Luther King taught us.
Civic Saturday celebrations started back in 2019. Tonight we have a welcome update about a former Razorback, Peyton Hillis. According to a Facebook post by Hillis's girlfriend, singer and actress Angela Cole, he was released from the hospital last night. In a note posted with the picture right there on your screen, Cole says the amount of love and gratitude she has for the incredible team that took care of Peyton is indescribable. Hillis, 37, spent time in the intensive care unit after reportedly rescuing his children from drowning 2 weeks ago. The high price of eggs at the grocery store continues to frustrate buyers. The avian flu and inflation, of course, are some of the reasons behind this. But is there a more cost-effective way to bring eggs home? THV11's Frederick Price asked a farmer for their advice.
The price of eggs at the store no doubt continue to impact buyers, but some are finding creative ways to restock the item.
Chickens are slowly becoming a need.
Bernard Iwebu is a first-generation farmer. He says skipping the line at the grocery store and raising chickens in your backyard is certainly an alternative.
Chickens are not hard to raise at all.
But how cost-effective is this? Feed, he says, the most expensive part.
Typically, when feed would be $12 to $14, it's gone up to about $22 to $24.
He's spending about $150 every 2 weeks. Aside from that, if you're in the beginning stages of raising chickens, Iwebu tells me it's not an overnight process.
The only thing is you have to put in a lot of time before you're even able to see your first egg.
6 months to a year before they are fully grown like these. About 30 chickens on this farm, and he says each cage lays about a dozen a day.
And I had eggs that I just didn't really know what to do with.
And after people in Pine Bluff heard about his abundance of this hot grocery store item, he made a business out of it.
Some of them were bakers, some of them owned dogs, and so they all had a use for eggs other than just egg consumption itself.
His goal is to be reasonable. Iwebu's price, $5 for a dozen. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average price of eggs is nearly $4.50, up 66 cents from last month. For him, it's worth it, but says the grocery store is the best option for those not willing to wait.
In all, he says he spends about $300 every month feeding and taking care of the chickens. So if you're looking for a quick fix to avoid paying the higher prices at the store, well, look elsewhere. In Pine Bluff, Frederick Price, THV 11 News.
Russian military forces claim gains in the Donetsk region of Ukraine, while Ukrainian officials continue to plead with the West for modern tanks to help prepare for more Russian attacks. Christian Benavides reports.
Near the besieged city of Bakhmut, Ukrainian soldiers are hoping to get advanced tanks from the West as they try to repel Russian attacks. During high-level meetings in Germany this week, more than 50 Western defense leaders, including U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, failed to reach an agreement on the tank issue. General Mark Milley said that with the right weapons and training, Ukraine can launch a significant counteroffensive in the spring.
I still maintain that for this year, it would be very, very difficult to militarily eject the Russian forces from every inch of Ukrainian-occupied or Russian-occupied Ukraine.
Meanwhile, Friday, the U.S. designated the Russian paramilitary group Wagner as a transnational criminal organization and ordered new sanctions against the group. On Saturday, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said the world needs to stop Russia's efforts to block Ukrainian food exports.
This will be at least 200 million people in different countries on 3 continents, Africa, Asia, and Europe, who now have decreased access to food.
Zelensky also met Saturday with several families of those killed in a helicopter crash earlier this week outside Kyiv. More than a dozen people died, including Ukraine's interior minister and a child who was on the ground. Christian Benavides, CBS News.